What if I told you that 95% of your video success has nothing to do with your content? I know this sounds insane because a long time ago, I discovered something that changed completely how I think about YouTube. Think about it this way: two creators in the same niche post a similar video with the same amount of value, but one person's video got 2.3 million views and the other person's video got 1.5k views. The only difference was how they framed it. And by framing, I mean the title and the thumbnail and how they got the viewers to click within the first few seconds. That sent me down a huge rabbit hole. After it, I analyzed hundreds of videos. I even edited hundreds of videos. And we tested dozens of frameworks, clients with millions of views, one of them even being Iman Gadzi, which my partner was responsible for. What we found was that there was a 4-step repeatable system that completely changes the game for any channel in any niche. And today, that's exactly what I'm breaking down: how we can frame a video exactly from the thumbnail to the title to be able to generate the most amount of clicks and qualified views you'll ever see in your entire life. Let's dive in. So the phase 1 that we have is called the framing foundation. Picture it this way: you have a crumbled paper bag versus a Tiffany blue box. Both of them have the exact same product, which is a $100 bill. Which one feels more valuable? I think I don't even need to mention it. It's the Tiffany blue box. The Tiffany blue box, that's your thumbnail and title. And the $100 bill that's inside, that is your video. But here's the brutal truth: people judge the gift by the wrapping. Even if the video that you have is the best content ever, it never gets a chance if your packaging fails. Now, immediately to get into the solution, the question is, why do most creators fail at packaging? First things first is every creator that ever posts a video has this lottery ticket method in their head, which is they have no strategy, they have nothing that goes onto the framing, and they see that other people just posted their videos randomly and it got millions of views. So what they do is they post and they just pray for success. They throw videos up hoping one hits, just because they saw another random guy who they thought just posted his videos randomly with a random packaging and it went viral. And what's in their head is that, yeah, this framing will maybe work. So what happens is most creators do this for years and they end up absolutely nowhere. The second reason is the generic trap method. You are invisible in a sea of sameness. If you're gonna go for something generic, no matter how good your content is, it doesn't matter. The algorithm has thousands of identical videos to pick. Like, why is it ever gonna pick yours? They use the same tired frames as everyone else, expecting it to go viral. And they probably go to another creator in their niche, copy the exact same framing, thinking that, oh, this might work. And then they post it on their video, they post it on their channel, nothing absolutely happens. And then the third very big common mistake that you see a lot of people do, which I call the kitchen sink method, is you'll see a title that has a whole essay on it, and it's crazy. It's like you're cramming everything. You know how you're in a kitchen, you have a plate over here, you have an egg pan over here, you have spoons over here. This is not a kitchen. Like, you're not supposed to put everything onto it. There is a certain strategy that goes to it. They have so much text, so much elements, that the person that is looking at the title and the thumbnail can't even interpret what is the video actually about to be able to click on it. Listen, you have 0.3 seconds to stop a scroll and 3 to 5 seconds to earn a click. Most creators lose in this gap because they have this very generic error that they go through over and over again, hoping that it will do well. Now that you understand why framing determines everything, let me show you exactly how to master it. So now I want to get into phase number 2, the 3-step framing system. Step number 1 is what I call audience architecture. It comes with a formula that I found long ago. It's called TAM plus tribe method. TAM stands for Total Addressable Market, which, think of it like the ocean, where you're standing from a window or standing from a perspective and all you see is the ocean. And then the tribe method is the specific people or the specific fishes that you want to pick from that ocean. So to give you an example, for someone, a TAM, Total Addressable Market, can be all of the people struggling with fitness. And then the tribe might be busy dads who want to go to the gym but don't want to sacrifice the time with their family. So here we dive a level deeper, which is a 3 target layering system. So layer number 1 is a broad category. As we said, for example, people interested in fitness. The problem here is it's too generic. You're competing with like 300,000 other gym geeks who want to teach people fitness, and there is absolutely no emotion connection. And then we go on to layer number 2, which is a specific problem for people struggling with fitness. For example, someone doesn't have time to go for fitness. So how can we solutionize this? Again, this is a very common problem. This is you, someone who might be watching this and struggling with the same issue. But when I go a layer deeper, which is the identity statement, where I say I will target dads who don't want to sacrifice their family time, but they still want to go to the gym, get abs, get jacked, and lose a lot of weight. Now, maybe 0.001% of you might be those people who genuinely can't go to the gym because they have to spend time with their kids. You see how I layered it down to its core? So now that you reach to this layer, you understand that your framing is gonna be very, very specific to the high quality people that you wanna target. You don't wanna target the whole world. That's not your objective. Your objective is to target a certain layer of people that you wanna get to click on your video. Once you do that, half of your framing problem is solved. And then we move on to step number 2, which is the transformation blueprint, okay? You need to identify and map what is their current state versus what is their desired state. So for example, a dad could be someone who works from a 9 to 5 and then comes home and only has 4 hours to spend with his kids. Imagine in these 4 hours if he goes to the gym. So that's their current state. And then the desired state would be working out actually fits with my chaotic schedule, but I can still spend a decent amount of time with my family. So the gap that you're filling is the video promise that you're gonna do in your framing. So to summarize it, someone can go from being like, I can't to I can. It's a transformation. I can do it slowly to I can do it at a very fast speed. That's a transformation too. I can, instead of having a very complex gym routine as a dad, to a very simple gym routine and very short. So you identify the symptoms to the pain point. Now that was just a very important psychological part. Let's go to phase number 3, the execution framework. We are done with the understanding and fundamentals. How can we get to action now? Part A, master the title. Okay, framing doesn't just come with like a design that you put there, which is a thumbnail. And people usually neglect titles. They work all day on the thumbnail and just think that, oh, I'm gonna put any title and it's gonna work. It doesn't work that way, okay? So let's go and master the title before teaching you how to master the thumbnails. Here is 2 very practical methods that I have made for you guys. And this has come from people who have worked with people under Iman Gadzi, people under Mr. Beast, people under Ali Abdaal. Like, I've taken all the sauce over the years. So this method is called the reverse engineering method. This comes with 2 different phases, okay? And I'm also gonna cover an example. So phase number 1, start with a proven title format that works. So search in your niche, whatever your niche may be. In this case, we're talking about fitness. So for example, fitness most popular videos on YouTube, and filter by this year only. You don't wanna go like 6 years back. Look for videos that have 10 to 50x outliers. And you can identify outliers by using tools such as vidIQ and ViewStats. They're free tools. You can literally just plug them as extensions. You can see I have vidIQ over here and I have ViewStats over here. It tells you the outliers. And I'm just gonna plug a quick example of how it looks on YouTube. So for example, let's say you find a method that works. So the silent X that Y use. Now, how can we reverse engineer this? We understand why it works, okay? So why it works is because silent looks like secret, and why use is like authority proof. So to adapt it to like something that might make it more sense for you guys, the silent method, the silent hook method that top gurus use. For example, now this is just from the top of my head, but I guarantee you, if this is like a video framing where you say the silent hook method that top gurus use, if it makes sense with the framing and what you're teaching in the video, is gonna back like 100%, right? You keep the psychological trigger, but you change up the context. This is how you reverse engineer. So when you do that, you build a swipe file. Now a swipe file might sound complex, but it's very simple. Like open your notes app, open Excel sheet, open whatever you want, and just put numbers and the proven title methods that you've found in the last 6 months to 12 months. Create a spreadsheet with like title, views. You don't even need channel and pattern. Aim for like 20 patterns minimum. It's a 2-hour work or 1-hour work, very, very simple. And update with like new weekday winners that you see. And what you need to do is group them by patterns. Now, I know this might sound complex for you guys. So if you guys wanna find it for free below, just click on the description below where it says title swipe file. Click there and you're gonna find a ready-made swipe file that I've made for the last 3 months updated on YouTube that's being used right now. And then we wanna head over to our 10x title generation system. Over here, when you come up with your video and you wanna get into like, hey, how am I gonna title this now? You get into 10 different rounds. Every round is a title. That means that you're gonna make 10 different titles, but you're gonna start all the way from the first to the third title. Over here, this round is essential. You wanna dump the most obvious ideas in your brain, the most shitty ones, like generic, with no emotion, no curiosity. Like, would you click these? No. But why we're doing this is because we're training our mind to dump shitty ideas, things that will make absolutely no impact and no one would probably click. Something like how to become an entrepreneur. Like, bro, we're not in 2010. Everyone has specific problems right now. You can't just go and be like, how to become an entrepreneur. There has to be a certain pain point in the video that you probably targeted after you understand the layering method. Then you're gonna get to round 4 to 7, where you're gonna have your title number 4, 5, 6, and 7. All of these are gonna be different titles. You start to add solution. You start to attack on pain points and you start adding specific angles. Like if you see Alex Hormozi, he has insane angles when it comes to his business videos. He teaches business, but they're very, very specific angles for a certain target audience that he wants to target in that certain video. It might take 5 to 10 minutes, but you stop thinking, what should I title this? And start thinking, what would make me click as a person struggling with this type of thing that I explained in the video? And then you get into round 8 to 10, which is the golden round. Over here is where the magic happens. You combine unexpected elements and you often do things that are counterintuitive or contradictory. Things that people are looking for and that will make them curious to click. So once you have 10 different titles, you want to analyze 3 different things. Clarity. Would a stranger in my target audience actually understand what the video is about from the framing? You're going to rate it from 1 to 10. How much do you think? All right. Curiosity. Does it create a knowledge gap? Is it something where like they're curious about this issue and they're going to click on the video to find out? Is it something that you would personally click? On rate 1 to 10, how much? So everything would have a rating. Let's say clarity might be 7. Curiosity might be like 5. So that's 12. And clickability, you might be like, yeah, I would 9 out of 10 click this. If the only qualified titles that have scoring 21 plus that move forward. All right, so this basically covers the title, but we're gonna dive back into it again in a second once we get into our thumbnails. So part B, we have mastering the thumbnails, which is pretty much the thumbnail essentials. Now think about it this way. Now why am I telling you? So yeah, once you have the rating, you can put it to ChatGPT, check ideas with ChatGPT, but let's say your title will be ready from there onwards. You can even do thumbnail first and then title second. It doesn't matter. That's actually how I do it. But title is more important than you guys think, because once you do the title, you're also gonna understand what the connection is that is missing in the thumbnail itself. Because it can never be 30 out of 30. So you want to fulfill the rest 9 of it. All right. So let's go into part B, which is mastering the thumbnails. In mastering the thumbnails, we have thumbnail essentials that we're going to cover very quickly. It is the 3 thumbnail element rule. So in thumbnail, it's covered by, let's say, 4 different things. First thing, we have the hero. Second thing is the support. The third thing is the text. And the fourth thing is white space. So in the hero, this is your main focal point. Usually it might be like a certain transformation, a key object, or it can even be your face. This must be instantly recognizable at a small size. Let me give you guys a quick example. So this is right now at a very small size. You cannot almost see it. But what do we see over here? We see our focal point, which is this person sitting on his laptop. And in the back, it says Spotify and it's like slashed out. So him sitting on his laptop is a certain emotion that is emphasized. It's the hero, all right? So if I zoom in, you're gonna see now, he's on his laptop, there's like a certain screen, and pretty much this is what is the hero in this point, all right? This is what he wants all of the viewers to see. He wants all of the viewers to see this first. This has to be the 40% of your thumbnail, okay? Now you don't have to get into calculations and whatever, it's just like think of it that way. And then we have the support, is where you provide context or proof. This should enhance but not compete with the hero. So you can see over here, this is literally our focal point, and then the no Spotify is giving more context. It's making people understand more about what the video is about. So from looking at this, you can just tell that the video is probably about focus, okay? It's something productivity related because he's sitting on his laptop, which is such a productive era trend thing. And then there's Spotify, which is crossed out because people listen to Spotify and it's a distraction, right? Especially like during work. For some people not, but this is an insane support element. And it's again taking like 30% of the screen. And then we have a certain text or frame. Now this is in some cases, like over here, we do have a text and frame, but the text and frame is combined along with the support, which happens actually often. So you can see like the support and frame is like together. And then we have white space where it's simple and people can interpret what's happening. This is not filled up. This is not filled up. Again, we're not doing kitchen scenes. Like this stuff doesn't have to be filled up. So to give you guys another quick example, let's look at this thumbnail, okay? We're looking at it from the far. What do we see? What is our focal point? We can clearly see that there is two big screens that show transformation. This is the hero. So look, now I zoom in. This is the hero. You can see how big they did it. And then we have Iman Gadzhi much smaller than how he was in the other image. You can see the difference here. He's much bigger, and here he's much smaller. So here he's being a support. Now his face is very recognizable and stuff. So he's like supporting what's being said. He also has an iPad in his hand, which shows that he's going to teach something in the video with a pen. Okay, so it's all supporting with psychology. And then we're showing that there is a certain transformation where revenue is our main focus. So you guys can see this is just thumbnail psychology, right? Once you guys understand what thumbnail psychology is, and over here, I just want to talk about 3 known types of thumbnails that actually convert. And then we're shortly going to get into a thumbnail and title connection. So you guys can see over here, this is one type of thumbnail, which is called transformation. It is very great. You can see all of this, every single thumbnail shows a certain transformation. It's either split screen or side by side. It shows a clear before and after, and there is progress markers, and works because it shows possibility. Okay, so you can see over here, this is a video probably about him teaching how you can get from $0 to 100 to 10k USD per month. And it's like he's holding a pen again, and he has a board over here where he goes in depth into step by step on how you can do this. Okay, this is like everything we think about when we look at this thumbnail. Again, over here he shows how he went from being this young kid, being broke, age of 17, to now being in the first class eating caviar. You're never gonna watch a video just for the sake of watching. Someone who watches a podcast is because out of this podcast they wanna learn something that they can transform in their life. Someone who watches a YouTube video from Alex Hormozi, they wanna learn something that they can implement and transform in their life or in their business. That's just how it works. This is the strongest type, which you will see in educational niche. Another one is the result, showing the result. Over here, you can see this is 2 productivity type videos. Over here, he's literally like talking about 7 productivity tips, whatever, and he's showing the results of how his current life looks. So when people look at this and they look at the title 7 productivity hacks, they're like, bro, I want to be like Iman. I want to have like 1 hour free time. I want to be in meetings, gym, work block. I want to be on my notebook all day, right? Here, I want to be someone who's able to focus with a headphone without listening to Spotify, without being drowned in all of the stupid misfocusing tasks. And then over here is how you can reach to $1 million, to have a lot of money, to be able to have your work, financial freedom, and etc. It's all results. He's showing the final result. And then the last type is comparison. Now there's a lot more types. This is just the most major 3 types, which is a 2 side-by-side option. Usually it's like battles of choices. There's X and green check marks. It works because it helps decision making. So for example, over here he's saying why you should not do this, why you should not do this, why you should do this, and why you should do this. How you can achieve and how you can make your bank balance go up. Over here, how your life is when you're undisciplined versus how it is when it's disciplined. You can see there is a red check mark, him being the focus point, him on a laptop. This is like people perceive being on the laptop as disciplined. Now I'm doing this and suddenly I'm disciplined, right? I'm on the phone, distracted. Imagine I'm recording this. I'm on the phone. I'm not disciplined, right? Him showing the difference between card, why he uses card versus why he uses cash. And in this video, he talks about shit like accounting and whatever, I think. And then over here is like how you can go into the top 1% circle versus the 70% circle. Now this is a comparison plus transformation. They're very close to each other, but they have their own psychological hits. All right. So now that you guys understand the practicals of title and thumbnail, let's get a little bit more into how we can connect between both of them. Part A was titles, part B was thumbnails, part C, making them work together. And I want to talk about 3 different methods. Method number 1, the complement rule. Think of title and thumbnail as a conversation. Title asks question, thumbnail hints the answer. For example, to get into the dad fitness stuff, title might be why your dad workouts aren't working. The thumbnail might be an emotion of an exhausted dad with like a text that says 3 fixes, right? So we're hinting that there is a fix in this video and it shows a dad that looks stressed out, and we're putting in the title why your dad workouts aren't working. So anyone who's a dad struggling with fitness because they want to focus on their family, they're going to be curious and click on this video. Now, one very important thing about the complement rule or the communication between title and thumbnail in general is never repeat the same information. You're causing redundancy. You have 2 different sources where you can communicate. If you communicate the same thing, you're literally putting yourself up for failure. The second method is the expansion rule. In this, title gives specifics and the thumbnail gives the overview. So for example, the title can be very specific, the 20-minute dad transformation. And the thumbnail can be day 1 versus day 30. So the viewer can expect that, okay, this is what I should do for 20 minutes every day for the next 30 days. So this gives an overview for the dad to expect on what the video is going to be about, and they click on the video and then finish. They're in the loop. The third one is the intrigue gap, where you leave one mysterious element where the title is specific but the thumbnail is very vague, which makes the thumbnail create curiosity, and it creates a very I need to know more feeling. Think of it this way, something very, very common, all right? So it can be how I transformed my body as a dad just by putting in 30 minutes every day. Like, this is what your title is going to communicate, not the actual title. And then in the thumbnail, you're going to make something very vague, but you're going to hide it. You're going to intrigue. Like, you're going to put, for example, number 1 this, number 2 this, number 3 that, and number 4, you're going to hide that step. So people are going to be like, what the fuck? Like, what is number 1? What is number 2? What is number 3? And why is number 4 like feels special? So that is literally all you need to know between the communication of title and thumbnail. I taught you guys how to do the thumbnail. I taught you guys how to do the title. I taught you guys why we need them. And I taught you guys how to communicate them. Now, let's say you have everything ready. We get into phase number 4. And this is something that is very simple, very practical for YouTube. And it's the optimization and implementation. See, many of the times, especially in your beginner phase, you're not gonna get it right in the beginning. You might fail with your framing, and that's completely fine. But this is what separates the good from great, literally, is they never stop after the first packaging, and they don't give a chance for failure at all. So what are those? How can we reduce the chances? Easy. Method number 1, ABC testing protocol. YouTube has a native tool where you can test 3 different thumbnails with 3 different angles. So why just post 1 thumbnail and not leverage the fact that you can communicate and test 3 different thumbnail angles and see which one does the best? Once you do that, we have a method called the rehashing method. Now, rehashing comes in 2 different parts. Changing up thumbnails in an emergency method versus changing up thumbnails that are old that could have done better. And I'm gonna tell you guys how to identify between the both. So let's say you posted up your video, you did the ABC test, and you've waited like 2 weeks, and still the content is very great, but it hasn't hit. You immediately start changing up your framing. You test new titles and you test new thumbnail combinations, and you put them up and wait like 3-4 more days to see if the video performance does well. You can see everything day by day in YouTube Analytics to be able to understand how the graphs goes day by day. So you can track your day by day views just after seeing the fact that you rehashed your video. And then there is rehashing old videos. This is a hidden gold mine. You might have videos from before that are really good, but like they just didn't hit. So how can you identify those? 2 different ways. Check the average view duration. If it's more than your channel average by a lot, then you know that this video, a lot of people found it valuable, but not enough people clicked on it. That's a video that you immediately have to rehash. The truth is, many big people, they have very, very good videos, even that they posted in the past, and they changed up their thumbnails, and the video literally went from a flopped video, 2K views, to 2 million views. That's how crazy this potential is. Do you understand that if you have a video that has done very well, but it flopped Just because of the framing, you can change it up even 6 months, 12 months down the line, and it can do well again. That's how crazy this is. But yeah, not to make it more complex, this is literally everything from top to bottom that you need to at least improve your framing by 50% tomorrow. Look, I know this is a lot, and I know some of you are thinking, I don't want to learn framing, I don't want to learn thumbnail, I don't want to learn all of this stuff. Why can't I just focus on my business and my YouTube growth? If you are someone like this and are interested to get someone to do all of that for you, the complete part, all the way from ideation, scripting, packaging, to editing your videos, then click on the first link below where you can apply for a done-for-you service directly from me and my team who have worked for people like Iman Ghazi, Omar Ashraf, Ahmed Mahmoud, and so much more. So yeah, if you want to explore that, please do check it out. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to learn more about YouTube, and if you have any specific things that you want to learn, click on the link below and I got you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.